Okay, what we're going to do today is have a little run through of the Kubuntu 20.04 beta. So we're going to go to install Kubuntu. I'm just going to drag this over to my screen for a moment so I can just see what I'm doing properly. So English UK, and then we're going to click continue. Right, we're going to go for the normal installation. It's nice that it's got the minimal installation option there though, and we're going to go for that one there. And we're going to click continue. So I'm sort of watching it on my external monitor for the capture card at the moment. When we get into the desktop, I'll be able to look straight ahead. So it's a bit tricky to see at the minute. Let's just drag this back here for a moment. Right, what I'm going to do with this disk, I've got a spare disk here. So we're just going to go to guided use entire disk. So as you can see, chosen this disk here, we're going to go for guided to use the entire disk, and it's going to give us one partition there. So we're going to go to install now, and then it's going to make an ESP and an XT4, so two partitions really. So we're going to go to continue, and it's already selected the right region, so we'll click continue, and here we're going to enter our user account details. So I'm just going to drag that over to the screen again. Type in my password, name the PC Tyler's PC, and I'm going to use login automatically so we can get a little sort of boot up speed time test as well. So we're going to click continue. Right, we're going to let that do its business, and then when we come back we'll boot off disk and we'll have a little look around. Okay, here we are at the KDE desktop. I think the installation took about 10 or so minutes, so it didn't take too long. So it's quite a sort of straightforward KDE setup. What we're going to do is jump into the release notes. I've got them open on another screen, but we'll go through them together and then we'll just set this desktop up how we'd use it and see how we go. So KDE Kubuntu 20.04, and we'll just do that, and we can find the release notes in this one here. So if we click this one and we'll get the release notes up. Where are they? There we go. Right, we'll quickly go through the release notes and then we'll just have a little look around. So, new features. So we're now using Plasma 5.18. It's been developed to make it smoother to use while retaining the familiar setup. KDE app updates including 19.12.3, which include Firefox 74. So if we go to help and about, we can just have a look at that now. There we go, so Firefox version 74.0 is now included in Kubuntu 20.04. LibreOffice is now version 6.4, so let's open up Writer. And just double check that. 6.4.2.2, and then what else have we got? So other new updated applications, Elisa, which is their music player, which is now the default replacing Cantata. Latte Dock is updated to 0.9.10, KDE Connect is updated to 1.4.0, Critter for the images is updated to 4.2.9, and KDevelop is updated to 5.5.0. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Have a Latte Dock installed then? No, we will install Latte Dock though, because I like to use Latte Dock on KDE. Right, so let's close a lot of this and let's just sort of set some things up and see how we go. So let's open up a terminal, and let's quickly just edit this terminal a bit as well. I do love console with the blur. So if we go into here, blur background, bring it to about there, click apply. There you go, you get a nice little blur. And then I like to disable the scrolling. I like to hide it. And then I also like to go into the configure console and get rid of the menu bar. Click apply. Click apply. So now it always does this, doesn't it? It opens it up in a different profile. So what we're going to do is go on to the settings once more. So configure console, go onto the profiles. So it's not got anything there. It's interesting. Right, so let's just make a new one again. So yep, click apply, scrolling, hidden, apply, and then we're going to make that the default, and then hopefully that will, when we open a new terminal now, it will retain those settings. There we go. So I wonder if we have htop installed. No, we don't. So we're going to install Latte Dock. Do we have Caitlyn Live? I don't think you do you? So we're going to install Latte Dock, Caitlyn Live, and a few other things. We'll also do an update first and an upgrade. I think that'll be okay for now. Right, we'll let that grab them packages and then we'll just sort of have a look at what else it comes installed with. There you go, it's got quite a lot to upgrade there. How much have we got? Let's have a look. So we've got 319 to upgrade, so that might take a little while, so we shall leave that minimized. Right, let's get some theming. I'm going to go for my classic Arc theme here. I'll tell you what, we'll install Sweet as well. I know quite a lot of people like Sweet. And we'll get Mauve as well for you guys that like to pretend you're on a Mac. Let's install that one. We'll go for that one. Type in the password. Right, so that's going to grab that. Let's get the Arc theme as well. What's this? Win10XOS. Huh. Should we grab that as well for a laugh? Let's get that as well. Right, now we're going to go into icons and get our Arc icons. So we're going to grab that, type in our password once more. Okay, so I think they're installed, so let's apply those. There we go. I have noticed with the Arc icons, it doesn't set icons for everything properly all the time. So if you also install the Mocha icon theme, it will inherit a lot of the sort of icons it's missing from that, but we've got the update stuff going at the moment, so we can't do that just yet, but we will do that in a bit to get all our icons more uniformed. So now let's go into the global theme and check out some of these themes that we've just installed. So let's check out this Win10XOS one. So you get a little Windows looking button there. I quite like the transparency, it's a nice shade. How does our console look? Oh, I actually don't mind that. So you get this sort of X, it's very Windowsy, isn't it? Okay, right, we're going to go and check out the Sweet one, which is very colourful with some pinks and stuff like that. And now we're going to go check the Mauve one, and then we're going to just go to Arc. So what that does is it will give your sort of file browser a whole sort of different look, and then you get the sort of Mac minimize, maximize kind of things there. What we're going to do is quickly install Mocha icon theme as well. Right, so let's go into the one that I like to use, which is Arc. So Arc doesn't set it quite as well as a global one because it's sort of quite an old entry, so we have to go into Windows decorations, and then we're going to go to Arc Dark there as well. Click apply, and then we might have to change our icons once more because I think they're still on the Mackie ones, the Mauve ones. So let's open up the icons package again and go for Arc. So is that downloaded Mocha now? Cool. Right, so when we reboot, I think it will sort all of these icons out. So we might do a quick reboot now because it's gone a bit crazy with that. So let's just check how much RAM we've managed to use for the time being. So we're on about 1.8 gig. So we're going to do a quick reboot. I'm going to stop recording now. We'll get a boot test sort of near towards the end. Right, so we're back in business. Let's see how our icons are all looking now. There we go. So the icons are looking as they should. So as you noticed, when we had just Arc set, it didn't set the correct icon for Dolphin, but now it has. So yeah, along with Arc and Mocha together, it will kind of fill in all the blanks that Arc hasn't picked up for you. So what we can do now is get Latte Dock open, but before we do that, let's put this panel to the top. So let's configure, edit panel, screen edge. I'm going to bring it all the way up there, and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. About there will do. And then we're going to move some things around. So we want the pager for our virtual desktops to be about there because we're going to have the global menu as well. So now what we're going to do is add a widget, and we're going to add, I'll tell you what, we need to remove the taskbar first. So edit panel, task manager. Oh, there it is. So we'll remove task manager, and as you can see, it's going to move all of that. And what you will have to do is put a spacer in between it, otherwise when you reboot it will do that again, it will all go towards there. So once we've done this and placed that correctly, we're going to chuck a global menu and a task, global menu and then a spacer. So we're going to do a global menu now. So add widgets, global menu, and we're going to chuck that there, and then we're going to add a spacer. So edit panel again, add spacer, and now as you can see the spacer is set from there to there. Right, that's the top bar basically done. What we want to do now is get Latte Dock. There it is. So what we're going to do is dock settings, we're going to get rid of this analog clock. So we're going to remove analog clock. We're going to go into advanced, appearance. Right, I don't like it to zoom like that. So what we're going to do is bring that all the way down, and then you don't get a zoom. And that's a bit big for me. So we're going to go for about 32. How's that? Yeah, I think that will be okay. And then what we want to do is, I like a bit more of a background now, and I like it to be a bit sort of transparent. So we're going to mess around with the size and opacity. So size for the background needs to be about 95 for it to sort of get a dock like. See what I mean? And then we're going to bring this down to about 85. And then that is basically all we're going to do. I'm going to remove the shadows. So it's got a little shadow here, I'll show you. There's a little shadow like there. I don't like that. So what we're going to do is remove that shadow. So we go back into appearance, and then shadows are gone. So now as you can see, it's got more of a sort of a straight line at the end without any shadow there. So that's our Latte Dock set up. So what we're going to do is pin some applications to it. So let's open up Caitlyn Live. Let's install GIMP as well. Right, let's pin Caitlyn Live, and as you can see it has a little bouncy thing, and it will have a sort of a volume toggle there to let you know that it does have audio, or you can mute it there. So we're going to pin that launcher. That's pinned. Right, let's close that. We're going to pin console as well. Pin. Right, let's open up GIMP. Can we just drag and drop things? Let's have a look. I think we can, can't we? There we go. So we've got GIMP there now, which will be version 2.10. And let's check out what version of Caitlyn Live we are using as well. And here is our global menu. So not all applications support it. I know Firefox doesn't out of the box. So we'll install something else, maybe Google Chrome or something. So let's go to Help and About. So we are using version 19.12.3, which is the latest version, so that is all good. Let's close that. And yep, GIMP is version 2.10, I do believe. So if we go to, is there a Help and About one here? Help About, there we go. So 2.10.18. So that's all well and good. And also you have a Show Desktop button here as well, and then clicking that will minimize it and bring it back up. So let's close that. And while we've got console open, let's also install NeoFetch. Yes, and let's get a new wallpaper. So we're going to go into Firefox, and while we're in Firefox we'll also download Google Chrome. So we're going to go to minimal wallpapers on Reddit, where I get a lot of my wallpapers from. And then let's also get Google Chrome. As you can see, look, Firefox doesn't quite work with the global menu there. That's why I'm going to use Google Chrome. Right, that's not too bad, but there is one that I like that I saw the other day. So we're going to scroll all the way down. Where are you? There it is. I quite like this one. So we're going to full screen that, save it into pictures, save, and now let's grab Google Chrome, which, as I say, will work with the global menu at the top here. So we're going to download Chrome 64-bit, accept, and we're just going to save that file. So for package management, you'll be using the Discover store, the KDE sort of software store, and then that will also have, I'm going to assume, Snap plugin as well. Yep, so you got Snaps installed out of the box, as you would expect. So let's just type something in like Caitlyn Live. So there's one version and there's two. So one will be the snap, which one will be the native one from the repo, which is what we've got installed here, and this one will be the snap package. As you can see, sources snap. Okay, right, so that download for Google Chrome should be done. It is indeed. So let's go and install that now. And because there's nothing else in the folder, we're just going to do a star to save me typing that all out. You could also just go G and a star, and then that will grab the dependencies and everything else. I don't think it has anything. Oh, it does have a couple there. So we're going to click Y and install Google Chrome. And then while it's doing that, let's open up NeoFetch and see how much packages we have got. So we have installed a few of our own extra packages there. So we're on about 1954 DPKG. No snap packages are listed there because we don't have any installed, so that's all good. So now let's open up Google Chrome, and we will make it our default, but we won't send crash reports to Google. And as you can see there, we now have the global menu for our web browser. I won't sign in or anything, so that will be the latest version that we've just downloaded, 80 point something or other. 81 now, there we go. So it's got an even newer version out now. So let's close that. What I'm going to do now is set up some sort of keyboard shortcuts that I like to use. We'll get some RAM readings, do a sort of a boot test, see how long it takes, but I think that's for the most part how we're going to leave it. We need to set our wallpaper, don't we? So let's go into pictures now, and we'll have to go to configure desktop. I think it would be cool if they had a sort of set as wallpaper on the sort of right click on a picture there. So let's go to add image. Before we do that, let's have a look at some of the default ones. So that would have came from that Windowsy theme, I think, that we downloaded. So yeah, quite a nice selection there, but we're going to add the image we just downloaded, which is this one here, and we're going to go all the way back up, grab it and click apply. There we go. So that is how I want it to look. I think we've lost our workspace switcher, so we're going to chuck that up on here as well. So we're going to go to add widgets. So it does say it's there. Maybe we need to make some. Okay, right, now we're going to go into the settings, and then we'll sort of have a final look at what applications it comes installed with, and then we'll wrap it up there. So what we want to do is go to shortcuts here, KWin. Now let me just make this a bit bigger. I want to look for move desktops and things like that, or virtual desktops. So where are we? Switch one desktop to the left. So we're going to do control left. I don't need to use the backward word, so we'll reassign that, and we'll do that as control right, reassign that. And now we want move window to the next desktop, wherever that might be. There we go, window one desktop to the left. I don't use a grid like that, I just keep it nice and simple with one row left to right. So window one to the left, we're going to do control alt. No, we'll do control window to the left. And then we're going to also do that, but with the right for that one. Click apply. And now what we're going to need to do is go on to the workspace behavior, is it? Virtual desktops. There we go, that's why the page is not showing up, because we only have one there. So I'm going to leave it on one row, but we're going to have 4 desktops. And then hopefully that will appear there where we set our pager. So if we click apply, there you go. We now have our virtual desktop switcher there, and it's got a nice slide, and you can change it to the fade. So we'll just quickly see the fade, and it also has the cube as well. There you go. But we shall keep it on slide, which is my favourite animation there. Okay, so that's our keyboard shortcuts, I think, all sorted. And also you have 4-way split out of the box on KDE, so you can go 1, 2, 3, and let's just open up Caitlyn Live. 4, like so. Very nice. Right, let's just go through the applications that are installed, and then we'll do a sort of a reboot to see how quickly it reboots up, and then we'll get a sort of RAM test at boot, and then we'll leave it there. So in education you have mathematics and science. In games you have different categories, so you've got board games in there, you have Mahjong. In card games you have K-Patience. In logic you have Sudoku, and then in tactics and strategy you have K-Mines. Now in graphics we installed GIMP, but it comes with GwenView, LibreOffice Draw, Ocular Document Viewer and Scanlight. So let's go back to that. And in internet we installed Google Chrome, but it comes with Firefox, KDE Connect and KDE Connect SMS, Conversation IRC client, KRDC remote desktop client. We seem to not have a icon for that though. I'm sure it has an icon on the defaults. Obviously we've changed the icon theme. KTorrent, and then another entry for KDE Connect, and it uses Thunderbird as your default email client. And then the multimedia Elisa, which is the new version here. There we go, there's your music player. So if we go into About, we can see that it's 19.12.3, which we saw in the release notes. So that was Elisa. So it also comes with Pulse Audio and VLC media player. And then we have the full LibreOffice suite there. And then in settings you have your system settings, Wacom Tablet Finder, IBIS and input method. And then obviously in system you have your sort of system stuff, and it comes with KDE Partition Manager for disks as well. As you can see there, it will populate that with quite a few disks there, and it's found quite a few stuff. So it's got no support for the BTRFS tools, but we won't worry about that. Okay, so that's the applications. What we're going to do is do a reboot. We'll keep recording while we reboot though to see how quick it is, and then we'll get a sort of a HTOP reading and we'll leave it there. So let's go to reboot. I've changed the boot sequence, so it should boot straight to I'll be able to say it in a minute, straight to Kubuntu. And we've also set auto login, so we should be able to get quite a good sort of feel for how quick it boots up. Once it gets past this screen, of course. Right, let's go. So you get your little loader screen, bang, quite quick. Lovely. As you can see, because we set the spacer in the top bar, all of our widgets are exactly where they should be. So now let's open up console, get a RAM reading. So we are using 670 megabytes at boot. It's really quite good how sort of slimmed down KDE seems to be these days. I think it even beats sort of XFCE, the desktop environment, in just sort of pure RAM usage at boot. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.